Hello, my beautiful angel. It's Josie Graves here. Now, in this video, I want to talk about 2022. This is a much requested video. A lot of you were asking me about the predictions about 2022, what to expect, what the world situation will be, how the energies will play out, what to know, what to let go of, and how to stay on track. So I've asked angels, this is not an astrological prediction. This is a really collaboration with angelic beings who are helping us, who are guiding us, who help us to be prepared and to understand what's going on the bigger scale. Because we can only understand what's happening in our lives. And that's often difficult, but we learn to understand ourselves and our relationships with each other and the world. And the purpose of these predictions is to help you to see how you can influence your energy, can really influence the events of the world, that you are not just a bystander, that you have power, that you have amazing creative potential to bring something beautiful into this world so we can have even better world. So that's what the reading is all about, to help you understand the dynamics of what's happening with our planet, with ourselves. And many of you are asking about pandemic, what to expect. Will the situation change now with the new virus, the new strains? And here's what angels want you to know. That 2022 will be a good year. It will be the year of rebuilding. We will rebuild our lives. We will rebuild our families. We will rebuild our relationships. We will rebuild our world, communities. We will rebuild our roads and connections. So it's the time where all of us really without exception will have to roll up our sleeves and play part in just group energy that is designed to help rebuild the world. Things changed dramatically. I'm not the one to tell you. You know yourself, you know for yourself that during 2021 there was a lot of kind of uncertainty, a lot of unknowing whether we will survive the pandemic, whether some major changes are going to be so destructive and we cannot control them. So, on the level of 2022, those fears eventually subside. And what angels wanted to know is that pandemic itself is going to be a lot less stressful. There will be some residual sort of recoveries from previous years, rebuilding. That's the word that angels really used when they described 2022. So less suffering. We will be able to control the spread of the pandemic. And because of that one thing, being able to control the pandemic, we can now take control and we can actually focus on healing instead of really diving into fear and dwelling on these massive, destructive, hurtful fears within ourselves and within our loved ones. So when we can control something, we start healing. And that's exactly what will happen. So the numbers will subside and eventually the pandemic is going to be history. We will still have some information, new information coming through about viruses, not just this virus, but what will significantly change in 2022 is our attitude and how our own technology, how our own community, our desire to work as a group instead of hiding, instead of trying to protect ourselves from the chaos, we will actually have the energy to step forward and bring up best resources. So pandemic is going to subside. That's good news. When I heard that, I thought, okay, thank God. So we'll see that. But let's look at 2022 month by month, so we can kind of understand the flow and dynamics of these changes that are happening. You and I, we have this interesting lifetime here on planet Earth. We are visitors when you really think about. And our planet and so many things are happening pretty much outside of our control. And even though we cannot control the events of the world, you can always control yourself. You can always control how you feel about situations. So, month of January, what angels describe is spiritual energy and spiritual strength. So you will have an opportunity. There will be global movements based on spirituality. A lot of people will talk about things like meditation, even in political places, in from screens of your television. The authorities will begin to use kind of spiritual terms, which will look strange, but that's exactly how things are now, what's happening with all of us. There is an awakening. There is an awakening that's happening from being really deeply asleep in the world of fear. And now we kind of like, what am I'm just here for 100-year lifetime. Am I going to spend most of this life in fear? So a lot of people kind of this, just like, I'm done. I'm done with being afraid. Like, I'm done with just expecting someone else to tell me what to do. I am taking my power back, and I'm going to take my community, my family with me. I mean, I feel strong in my heart. I feel very strong in my mind, in my body, and I will use my voice. I will use my inner awareness, my awakened state to awaken other people. So you will hear a lot of these things happening. So spiritual awakening, that's the month of January. And it's going to be a very strong, solid month. You can plan really things of communicating your values to other people, really building something important, just getting the energy straight, just communicating your values to other people in the direct, loving way. Even from a spiritual perspective, do not be afraid to use spiritual language. And maybe your suggestion to your business partner or to someone you know, maybe your neighbor, will be like, hey, meditation really helps. So spiritual solutions begin to circulate around the world in the month of January. So communicate what you want to say to your business partners, to your families. And throughout the year, you will have this strong, whatever relationship you build in January, they're actually going to last you a really, really long time. But you need to also, one way or another, to bring in some the spiritual foundation. It's not going to be just mental. Okay, so angels really want you to start thinking in terms of spiritual values and whatever that means for you. So that's January. Number 2, February, what angels want you to know. Now February and March are going to be this dip. The way it's shown to me, it's kind of a dip in energy. You will kind of have this short setback where you will feel again the strange kind of emotion is coming back, the fear is coming back. From the spiritual uplifting, there will be a setback. And that's understood from a spiritual perspective, because when you really like have so much energy, if you just using the momentum, there could be a setback somewhere down the road. So February is going to be the month where you will have some residual stuff from 2021, 2020, just sort of reappearing on the screen of your mind. And that's because, again, the energy of collective energy as well is just shifting back and forth, just like the tide. You go forward, and the wave flows and the wave retracts. So you have this constant flow, and that's called life. So February is going to be the month where you will have to really be careful with things that you say, with using your thoughts, because your thoughts can begin to work against you. And you know, when your thoughts begin to work against you, it's like everywhere you look, it's like the world is against you. When your thoughts are against you, it feels like the world is against you, but you know better. You are a spiritual, awakened being, and you begin to see, begin to recognize these dynamics in yourself. So you'll relax and you'll know, okay, everything will be fine. And that's where I am right now, maybe dealing with these old fears, but I'm not afraid anymore. I am aware of them. So, February is going to be the month of really kind of back and forthing. Is this the right word? Is this the right way to say it? Back and forthing. So, you will have those thoughts of doubt, thoughts of maybe just worries will surface up, but this is where your power truly shows. And that's why you needed that energy in the month of January. So you can just keep on going and break through these fears. So that's February. March is going to be pretty much kind of on the same wave. It's you now. When the February was all about kind of your mental states, is how your mental energy, because on a collective level, mental state, your mental state, the mental state of the world is often a match. But then in February, there will be situations when it will feel to you like so much going on. Then they will be bombarding you with from all over the place. The people call you, asking you for projects, and then it's like everybody's pulling you in so many different directions. The hardest thing for you to do in March, now we're talking about March, is to make a decision, okay? Because you will have so many options. It's like everyone in your mother is calling you, asking you for things. And it's because universally, we're going through the phase where we will take everything in, and by taking everything in throughout the year, we'll just okay, we don't need this anymore. Okay, no, that's not good. But first, we just almost like, have you been shopping in like a department store, right? And you just walking around and you're like, okay, I'll try this dress. Okay, now I'll try this skirt. Okay, I'll try this pair of shoes. And then you'll go to change room and you'll try them on, and you'll pick like one thing or maybe like two things, but then you have this whole cart with you. So that's the energy of March. It will feel to you like you have so many things and you carry them. It's just like, but then throughout the year, not just 1 month, but it will take you really time to sort out what you don't need. Just take it, to not be overwhelmed, really stay connected, knowing who you are, knowing what's happening, and knowing that you also will get through it because it's not permanent. It's just a temporary experience. And we all have that. We all have moments when we feel just fine, and the moments where we just want to dig our heads into the sand and then just not appear anywhere, not answer phones or emails. So listen, be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself. If that energy, overwhelming energy that will happen in March, is only because you will be facing these choices. And if you're really connected spiritually, it's why we have this spiritual thing happening in the beginning of the year. So you will then make the right choice, and the right choice will be easier for you. So the making the decision is going to be one of those hardest things, but I know that you can do it. You're watching this video. All right, April, going to be just beautiful months. What angels say about April is going to be a month of prosperity, really good financially. If you have any investments in April, you will see them grow. You will see just opportunities to earn more, to build your prosperity. They're just going to get more and more visible. So you will connect with people, you will meet new people, you will have new projects, building new ideas. So many great things are happening in the month of April. So financially, that's where you will just remember things will get really just accelerated in terms of building prosperity. It's not just for you and me, which is great, that's awesome, but also for our planet, for our communities. We live as a community, and the communities could be on a micro level. It's you and your family and the people you know, but it's also on the level of the world. We're all one big community. We're all children of the universe, children of God. And it's really important that we are all building this together. So it's not taken away when your prosperity month is going to show up. Remember, it's not that you're taking something away from anyone. It's you actually doing something, contributing something to the world that allows you to have so much more. It allows you to have so many more things just going to be there for you. People will be there for you, projects will appear, and so on. So that's number 4. Number 5, number 5 is May. So May, what angels describe about the month of May, that is going to be the time of relationships. So really, really good energy to create loving relationships. If you're looking for a soulmate, definitely in May, you will have many, many different clues because the universe is always giving you clues. And stay open, really communicate what you desire, how you desire to feel when you have your soulmate by your side. And then trust that the universe is going to deliver, the universe is going to help you, that the universe is going to give you the right person, right? The right individual, the right circumstances, the right events. You don't have to go and ask for anything. You don't have to just demand something from the universe or feel like you have to do something special. All you have to do really is to be available for whatever, whoever is prepared to meet you in this year 2022. Be open and understand that the universe is always going to give you the right road, and it'll show you, okay, path number 5, that's May. And throughout the whole month, you will have many, many opportunities to improve your relationships, to collaborate with other people, to have intimate relationships, meet with someone romantically, or to engage, to rekindle your own relationship. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you are right now, that's going to be a really, really, really good month. So that's May. Now let's look at the energy of June. So, what angels want us to understand about June is that in the month of June, something will be happening on the level of the earth. And I'm not I'm not given this information exactly what will be happening. But what they're asking us to do is to really stay grounded and within ourselves, because you are the child of the earth, right? Your body, you are an earthling. Your mother, earth is your mother, the earth is my mother. So there will be changes happening on kind of dimensional spaces. The universe is traveling, the earth is traveling at its own pace through different stages of its own spiritual evolution. So, what angels want us to do is to understand that physically we'll be experiencing something. And these things can show up as maybe like too much energy. It's like, oh, I can't control. Or it may show up as you feeling really just low on the energy level. Perhaps some old symptoms may show up just on a physical level. You'll have so many different things, just weird things like, am I getting sick? Like, what's happening to me? So understand that energetically, the earth is shifting. The earth's body is going to go through at its own pace through whatever. And it's our job to stay grounded, to stay really grounded, which means spend actually more time connecting with the earth. Earth meditations will be fantastic. Communication with nature, when you go out in nature and you feel nature in your body, when you're really not just, okay, here, beautiful rainbow, but you really feel like you are one of this beautiful planet. And because you're one of this beautiful planet, you are everything that it has to, you have everything that it has to offer to you. You are influencing even just your good vibe, your emotional state of well-being. It's going to really help. It's going to help you and everyone else as we're going through the shifts. It's going to be month of June. The energies will be a little kind of off. You'll feel it in your body, but just remember that it's not good or bad. Nothing is good or bad. It's just things that are happening that are outside of our control, but we'll get through them. So just understand that. Moving on to July. July is going to be, again, seems like the whole summer of 2020, 2022 is going to be pretty good. So smooth going. You will find a lot of, it's like the doors are opening, for the last couple of years. One of the things that you've experienced and I've experienced is the lack of personal touch, personal contact. And because there's no personal contact, just like social distancing for good reason. But when we just kind of, now the restrictions are released, it will take us some time to get back to the state when we can go and hug each other or shake our hands again, or not being afraid to come up to a stranger just in the way that's close enough, not being afraid without that. So this is the whole month of July being so open. It feels like the doors are open and everyone is now ready. You'll see a lot of people just finally reaching out to their relatives, traveling, maybe on a short distance level, but there will be at least desire to communicate with others, to be close physically, because what angels are saying that we are here, we are not designed to be on a solo level. We are designed as human beings, and who designed us? I'll leave this question open, but we were created and then developed into these beings who depend on each other, who depend on such values such as love, right? If you did not receive love as a child, you will be seeking that love for your entire life. You will be wanting love more than anything else, and you'll try to substitute love for things and money and all these other things, just as a void to feel the lack of love. So we are designed, who is going to give you love, right? So we're seeking love from other people, our parents to begin with. We want to stay in communication with others personally. It's really important that we continue. It's not just isolating, because isolating, that's where even your perception of what a human being is begins to change. But a human being is that someone who is really open to have communication in place, really open-minded, open-hearted communication, when you can, spend time with the people you love, sharing a meal, going places and really enjoying doing these kinds of things. So in August, the same kind of thing, like theme will continue, more open spaces, more communication with other people. I see concerts outside in parks. So just big events are showing up over and over again. It's kind of my clue that angels predict there will be a significant changes on the level of the way that we relate to each other. So now, many people, if you work from home, will actually have the desires like, I'm missing my office for the first time in forever. I want to go back and spend time with my buddies, at least 2-3 times a week. But it will be the need and then the openness to bring yourself back into the world to the way that it was. To some extent, there will be still restrictions, most likely, wearing masks, washing hands, mandatory things, but there will be less fear of contact, of touching other people. So there will be a lot of really kind of open events happening to invite people to go out and spend time with their loved ones. So that's summer, that's August. Now, in September, though, things are going to again shift. And the shift is going to happen globally, in a global scale. You'll see again a retraction. It's kind of this. It's the flow of life. When the energy is moving slowly up and then down, up and down. So you want to just understand that this nature of our lives and rhythms happen in everywhere. A heartbeat is a rhythm, a cycle. um every cell in your body has a cycle of life. On the collective level, look at the moon cycles, the cycles of the sun, the day and the morning and evening. So these cycles are part of life. Just like you cannot control the sunset or sunrise, it just happens. because the creation is how it is, and then these are laws, they're set in motion by the power that is beyond ourselves. So we know that when things just moving up and then moving down, we're not going to just sink really really deep. We're going to stay afloat as much as possible, knowing that our purpose here is to love, to be loving, and to express love, to receive and to give love. And if this is the only agenda you have every single day of your life, you don't even need these predictions really, because you will be guided to take the right opportunity in the right way. So you will have all that you need, all the guidance that you need. So in September, there will be things which will kind of, again, you feel lower energy compared to other months of the year. You will again will feel like, okay, you know what, maybe it's time for me to retract. Some new news could show up, a new virus or some kind of flashy new thing is just will almost like put out in the media and makes you and then others feel like, is it something I should be worried about? And that fear you'll feel again kind of like resurfacing and showing up, and you will be like, what do I do? This is, am I going to be locked down again for the rest of the summer, for the rest of the fall, for the rest of the year? But not to worry, because the purpose of September is for you to actually spend time more solo, to be more by yourself. Because just like you have the need to be with others, you also need to spend time with yourself. You need to remember who you are. You need to know that you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. And the times when you may feel like, I'm so alone, all of a sudden people left, everybody's busy, kids went back to school, my friends went traveling somewhere else, and I feel like, wow, I'm alone again. But the purpose of these events is to help you to reconnect with yourself. So take it easy. It's really about not to be stressed out or worried. It's really about taking your time and see what's really important for you. It's been a really busy year. Believe me, by September, it will feel to you like, wow, like the whole 12 months just passed by. It was really intense. It's going to be an intense year, whether you're ready or not. It's just like, here I come. So, and that's, you will also, you may be losing, what the angels are saying is that you may be losing your sense of purpose. In the beginning of the predictions, I I told you about the theme of the year, which is to rebuild, is to restore. And then your purpose will be super clear to you, to restore, to rebuild. By September, you'll feel like you've lost that purpose. Or it will feel to you like it was no use, or just kind of like, why am I even doing this for? So remember that it's okay, it's fine, and spend time really going inwards, your inner projections, inner reflections upon whatever happened for the last 8 months. And then how has this time been for you? In September of 2022, are you really where you want to be? And then maybe you give yourself some recognition, because some of your best events you may just you ignore, saying, I didn't do anything. But then you can look back and you really helped your friend who was going through illness, and you really was there, you were there for them, and you really helped them. Maybe you had a colleague who was struggling at work, and you really stepped forward and you brought something really, really cool and interesting, and you uplifted. You gave them hope. So things like that, just remembering things, your own um, good deeds, and how you can reward yourself, just really give yourself that praise that you truly deserve. That's the month of September. Is going to be very introspective. So in order for you not to dive into sadness and depression, so first you, of course, watch this channel and remember that, give yourself the applause and support that you need. Give it to yourself first, and then everything else is going to follow. All right, so let's see. We have 3 more months of the year, and then October what Angel's saying about October is going to be the test for truth. Test for truth, especially about your relationship. So, relationships, interpersonal relationships are going to be a little tight. So, the energy of October will test the strength and power of everything. So, when you were building that strength in January, and you really felt powerful. So, that power that you built in January, that's why I said it's important that you really spend time building that spiritual foundation. It's going to be translated all the way in October and it will be tested. So, if that was a business relationship that you built in October, it will be tested and will be tested. If there's any things that were not true, it's going to be difficult for you to face other people and have very, very difficult conversations with them. You'll have to do it. If all the time since January, because a spiritual foundation is built on truth, and the truth that is resonating with you, and there's a truth with a capital T, right? We all have our own individual truth as we believe in things and ideas, but there is also the truth with a capital T. So this whole year, your integrity, your truthfulness with yourself and also with everyone around you in your partnerships, in your relationship. So if it's there, you have nothing to be afraid of. It will be again some tension, but you will have no underlying, like you'll not lose your sleep over it. You understand what I mean? Because you won't lose your sleep. You know the truth. And know the truth. The truth will set you free. And in that way, the truth is you having nothing to hide. And you can have these open conversations and then release the fear, because fear is only serving. If you have broken the pact, the spiritual pact, if you have broken your word, if you have broken something that you promised, it's not going to be easy, but you'll get over it. It's a lesson, it's a test. So it's a test to relationships. And now you listening to this, remember that integrity next year is it's always important. Right? I'm not saying that, for the rest of your life, you don't have to be in truth with yourself. Always be in truth, integrity, honesty. These are values that allow you to sleep at night, no matter what happens, because you will be at peace with yourself. And the spiritual path is exactly that. When you have transparency, when you are honest with yourself, when you understand your own truth and it's strong in you, you have really nothing, there's no conflicts. There's no conflict between your head and your heart. So these things are really important, and these conversations are important as you are traveling through 2022. In November is going to be the month, and angels describe the month of November as letting go and letting God. All right, so letting go and letting God. So in this way, letting go, letting God, understand that the things that are happening in our world are beyond your ability to change these circumstances and events, and beyond my ability to change them. So we have no way of controlling. That's, you'll see, it's kind of on the level of the politics. Things just get a little maybe out of control, not in a bad way, but you feel like why people are obsessing over things that are not important. You turn on the news and it's constantly something is happening. All of a sudden it's just like some energy is calling for your attention, but you know better. You're not really concerned anymore because you've built that spiritual foundation. So in the month of November, the theme is to let go. Whatever events, it's really important that you are not being pulled into some kind of surface drama. The surface drama is really that. It's on the surface. It has no depth. And every now and then you'll see that a drama is created. Drama is created in our world just to, just it's boring life if there's no drama created. Now, on spiritual level, I understand and you understand that these is just the way things are. But within ourselves, we always have peace of mind. We always we can return to the state where we are free from drama. We're free from anything or anyone can put upon us, any agenda, any some kind of information you got to believe. Okay, so if you really let go and not being involved in the dramas of the world, it's going to be a very easy month for you. It's just like, whatever's happening, it's not permanent. You'll see, people will, your friends will call you and they'll say, did you hear the news? Which is like, I'm in zen, I'm in the zone when I know who I am and I know that everything will be fine. So getting in that, in the zone of just being consciously present, feeling good, feeling God, and allow the world to be as it is. And then things will get better. And finally, December, drum roll. And then angels describe December as a month of, again, taking care of things, finishing the projects, whatever you needed to do. Things really slow down. Drama slows down. There's no more just triggers. People just get all of a sudden let go. And people worried about like 3 days ago over something. And then a couple of days, they're all happily singing and dancing together. It's like, well, so in December, the purpose of your relationships, the December will be the month of you really kind of taking things with just ease, being at ease. When you are at ease, it means that you don't have any great expectations. And it's important for December that you really release all expectations, that you clear things that you are responsible for. So, and along the level of your work situation, with your relationships, everyone and everything else, that you'll have some more clarity in 2023. So there will be the month of slowing down. Nothing really major happens in December, at least not something that we should know and worry about now, because angels sometimes do not give away some really scary information. There's like no need. But what they're assuring us, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a year where we are eager to get back to life that is meaningful to us, that we can get back to the places within ourselves that we are free, that we can really step and say what we want to say without being confronted or judged. It's the place where we are ready to help others to heal, when we are no longer subject to fear of pandemic, fear of death, fear of unknown. So all of these things are just not as important to us anymore, because you are where you are and you are ready. And remember, what angels want you to know is that you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. When you understand it, and in moments of difficulties, you take over your spirit power. Your spirit power is greater than anything or anyone that can put upon you. That whatever is happening in this world, your spirit power is immensely greater than any challenge, that any difficulty, any worry, any fear, any pandemic, anything can threaten your survival right this moment. The power of your spirit is beyond that. So when you remember that, you're going to have an amazing year. You're going to have a year where you always return to the state of complete peace and love, because that's who you are. On the level of the spirit, you are just love. Love that is all encompassing, that is all, this is everywhere. It's not divided, it's just one, and we are returning to that state. We really are. So you'll have that identity, you'll have that spirit, the sense of your spiritualness. So spiritual connection with your own soul, with your own spirit. And also remember that you have powerful angels working with you, the beings who love you and they want to be of service to you, so you can always call upon them. So my beautiful angel, I hope this was helpful. And it was a really long video, but I know that you will let to watch this I know that you were. And I'm sending you blessings. I want you to know that I pray for you, that I love you, and you will be okay. You will be okay, without a doubt. I also wanted to mention that if you want to get readings with me and personal readings for 2022, you can go to jerseygrouse.com. And we have the special for this month with predictions, specifically where I connect with your angels and we'll look into whatever 2022 is preparing for you personally. So a lot of things are happening. So go to jerseygrouse.com and also send me a comment. I love to read what's happening in your world, how you're ready, how you're preparing for 2022, and have the most amazing day on our beautiful planet. Much love.